Stop me if you heard this. Live action anime is always awful. Now, you get the exception of Alita Battle Angel. Pretty darn good. Wasn't very accurate to the source material, though. Sometimes when the live action anime comes from Japan itself, it's decent, but it's still never that good. Because here's the problem. Here's the truth, and here's the problem. Anime is just very hard to adapt. It is a very unique medium, a very self-contained medium that if it's a drama, Your Life in April, something like that, yeah, you probably get away with a live action adaptation. But our latest one on the chopping block for Netflix and for the live action debacle is My Hero Academia. I know. Netflix is involved. American companies are involved. Not just a Japanese writer. Not just the ambassador for My Hero. Probably not going to go anywhere. But take note of this. This is another very popular anime that Netflix has decided to sink its teeth into to potentially adapt. We saw what happened to Cowboy Bebop. It had both a Japanese, actually it had the original writer for Cowboy Bebop to come on board. They championed that, and then after the show came out, he said, yeah, I gave them some notes, they scrapped it, and then fired me. Oh, excuse me. So we know what they do. We know what they've been doing. We have seen them do this over and over again. I like to go to Live Action Gundam for this, as they keep heralding the coming Live Action Gundam, the day that I will rue and potentially just go ape crap. It's still too early to start cussing completely. The day that happens, the day Live Action Gundam is released, I will go insane. Because I'm tracking that as best of my ability. News has pretty much stagnated since the announcement, since some of the things have come out. But along with that, they have ambassadors from Bandai, people that know Gundam. But then everybody set to direct it is from America, is from these properties, this property, that property. Properties that have flunked time and time again. So why don't we get into this one and let's see some of the hands that are attached. Because at least two of them I don't mind, but the rest of them I do mind. And the fact that it's live action, I mind. Live action My Hero Academia film heading to Netflix will be featuring screenplay from Obi-Wan Kenobi showrunner Joby Harold. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, that little ditty from Disney Plus. Oh, you remember that? A moment in history where everybody that loves Star Wars, the OT, the prequels, everybody came out and said, this is crap. This is awful. Why didn't you just take the Obi-Wan book? Why did you hate this? Why? Why did you do this to us? And that was probably the death nail in Disney Plus, but that's a story for another day. In a development that has historically sounded the death nail is what they say, but I'm pretty sure it's nail, for live action adaptations of Japanese properties, Netflix has acquired the streaming rights to Legendary Entertainment's upcoming take on Kiyohei Hiroshiki's My Hero Academia. You know, in the space that we live in, a lot of people like to point to My Hero Academia as evidence that the superhero fatigue has not truly set in. I do it all the time because I do not believe that superhero fatigue has set in, because we have My Hero Academia, a wonderful show about a kid becoming the number one hero. His quest of becoming number one hero. It's not if he becomes it, it's he will become it. So when is that happening? I still need to get back into watching this current season. I haven't read the manga. I've been watching it. One of the few shows I haven't touched the manga on. But this show is so fabulous. Well, fabulous. So amazing. And people love it for what it is. People adore it. People have some of the most respect for it. And when the crazy people come out and start saying, change it for us, make Deku and Baku gay, oh, do this, do that, do this, we all come out in a resounding response of F off. And then Lovely, it's escaping me, I do believe Kyoe Hiroshiki came out and did this, or somebody else did. They decided to troll those people and make the grape dude say that he's gay. Oh, that was a wonderful, wonderful experience, wonderful moment in time. But this lovely show filled with very, very beautifully dressed women, if you catch what I'm saying. Strong men. Little crybabies here or there, but strong men that are depicted as progressing, getting stronger, being determined, actually men. Very masculine traits. Women have some very feminine traits. This show is now being picked up by Hollywood. Just think of what that's gonna do. Just think of how that gets impacted in this world. Modern day Hollywood touching all this. Modern day Hollywood putting their inputs into all this. What do you think's gonna happen? The worst is the best output. You're not gonna see something good from all this. First announced by Variety on December 12th, Netflix purchase of the upcoming film will see Hollywood take on Deku, Bakugo, and All Might skip theaters and premiere exclusively on streaming service, though the film will still receive a theatrical run in Japan courtesy of Toho Co. Ltd. Toho, essentially. Toho, wonderful people over there. They don't produce everything great, but they produce some good things. Let's see. This is my little conspiratorial hat going on here. I think people are more than happy to sell this to Netflix. That way they can hide the truth that nobody likes live action anime. In fact, anime fans very much despise it. You got one good live action anime out of a sea of garbage. And even then, people still criticize the one good live action anime. So let's not act like this is some major win. This is some major win. Oh, this is going to be fantastic, because it's not. It's not. We're going to be lucky if it doesn't come out like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Evolution. We'll be lucky if it doesn't come out like Death Note. If it comes out like freaking Attack on Titan, heck, that's the good side. Now, there are some good, decent live-action anime predominantly made over in Japan. They're still not great. They're decent. They're not great. And they're not anything I'm going to go shout from the rooftops as fantastic, perfect adaptations. Because they're not. They're very flawed and very, still pretty much awful. But they're at least better than what we were getting over here. I'll go to not Attack on Titan, but I'll go to Full Metal Alchemist. I'll go to Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin. I will go to something like that not great by any stretch of the imagination, but better than what we've been getting. Better than Death Note. But alongside the distribution, why couldn't I say that, update, it was also revealed that the film's screenplay will be penned by writer Joby Harold. Oh, Joby. You know, who most recently rewrote Kathleen Kennedy's initial Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts and served as the Disney Plus series showrunner. So everything we saw during Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't just Kathleen Kennedy. This was the guy simping for Kathleen Kennedy. This is Kathleen Simp, who created Obi-Wan Kenobi, who created that abominable show, who butchered our favorite characters, who butchered one of my favorite characters, as I said over and over last night on Renaissance Nerds Mellow Monday. I love Darth Vader. He's the reason Darth Vader is dead to me. He is the reason they butchered Darth Vader, my favorite character. And I want to take a side note here. The original creator for My Hero says that Star Wars is a big inspiration for him. You can see some elements laid throughout the whole series. All I see is Joby effing it all up. In addition to overseeing the canon-breaking adventure of the Jedi Master, Harold credits also include stints as co-writing the stories for such production as Warner Bros. Discovery's upcoming The Flash, which is just amalgamation at this point. I don't know what the heck we're going to get because all sorts of hands have touched that script. And it's been rewritten, re-edited, reshot over and over and over again. I don't know what we're about to see. Universal Pictures' upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which, if it was just the CGI robots fighting each other, would be good. But, you know, the director came out and said it's a black and brown story. And Netflix's previous collaboration with Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead. Blur. Also, not a great story. Really awful story, but so blurry it's hard to watch. Notably, Harold planned work on the My Hero Academia film will mark his second team up with Legendary Entertainment, as the writer is also currently serving as an executive producer on the studio's upcoming Godzilla and the Titan series for Apple TV+. Oh God. I love Godzilla and all that, but I don't want to sign up for Apple TV, and I don't want to see this guy touch anything about it. I don't. But that's another story for another time. This is pointing out that the My Hero live action is going to be shit. Yeah, I can cuss now. Harold's script will in turn be brought to life as previously announced by storied Japanese director Shinsuke Sato. So, Sato here has a decent filmography. As good of a filmography as live action animes give you. It's not great, but at least these are some of the better ones. And before you say, oh my God, he touched Death Note, I'm pretty sure from what I'm seeing, it's not Netflix's first Death Note, not their upcoming Death Note. Remember, there's 2 live-action Death Notes for Netflix. I believe this is Japan's live-action Death Note. I could be getting that completely wrong. So please correct me in the chat. Best known for having directed a myriad of live-action manga adaptations for Japanese audience, including I Am a Hero, Inuyashiki, Kingdom, Gantz, and Death Note. I'm pretty sure that's the Japanese Death Note, which, not great. Pretty darn good for what it is. It's still not great. It's still not Death Note, but it was pretty darn good for the time. Gantz, haven't seen. Kingdom, haven't seen. Inuyashiki, haven't seen. I Am Hero, I haven't seen. Excuse me. But when Japan touches its stuff and it's more of a drama-based anime, it has a possibility of doing decently. I go to Alice in Borderland. Primarily made in Japan, being shipped over here. Not bad. You can see the obvious anime adaptation of it. Not an awful thing. Kind of enjoyed it. But that's not My Hero. Those are not My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia has a very unique style to it. It's a shonen. It's over the top and crazy. You can see right here. Here's freaking not All Might. My brain's fried. Endeavor. This is Endeavor here with one of his sidekicks. Look at this scene and then imagine it live action. It's going to look ridiculous. The ridiculousness is why it works. There are certain things within anime that just cannot translate over to live action. Endeavor's flames, Bakugo's explosions, certain facial features that anime characters do perfectly that Americans live action, just normal people can't do. There's just certain faces that say something within an anime adaptation. Says something within anime that we just can't get. Because when we try to do it, it looks kind of cringy. And that's just humans. That's reality. That's why we suggest don't touch our stuff because it just doesn't translate. Sato's work tackling Hiroshiki's popular shonen manga will mark his official English language debut. Oh yeah, this was the Japanese Death Note. I've seen none of these. English language debut. Oh god, I'm terrified. Overseeing Harold and Sato's work will be producer Alex Garcia, Krampus. At least the next one, I can see why they're producing this, but Krampus? No, I like Krampus. It's a Christmas horror movie. But this is your producer? Well, that's not anime. That's not Japanese inspired. That's Christmas horror. But now we get to the next one, and Merry Parent Pacific Rim. I can understand that one. I can 100% understand that one. Pacific Rim has very much an anime style to it, very much a manga style to it. Not great. At least the first one's pretty good. Second one's not great, but you can at least see what she's producing it. The latter apparently replacing formerly attached producer Jay Ashenfelter, Godzilla vs. Kong. Why the heck is he being replaced? Replace this person with that. I could see that one. Still, I don't want this just to be a bunch of CGI people fighting. I want an actual story. We're not going to get it, so keep it in animation. Alongside Ryusuke Yatomi as representative for My Hero Academia's publisher, Shueisha. I probably butchered that last name, but I don't care who the representative is. I'm serious now. I don't care because I go to Cowboy Bebop. They had the original writer for Cowboy Bebop come on, give a bunch of notes, and gave them, hey, do this, this, and this. They scrapped it. They keep reaching out to these Japanese people, these representatives, these people to help create the show the way the manga and anime intended it to be. And it's always awful. Always, always, always awful because they just scrap it because they don't like it. All they're buying is the name so they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Quit touching our anime. It is not yours. You might have the legal rights to it, but you don't have the rights to it. I don't remember who said that recently. That was fantastic because that was very accurate. Because you don't deserve to write any of this. I don't care who you are. I don't care. You could get almost perfect. I still won't accept it because it won't be My Hero. It will not be My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia has a very unique charm to it that it has only been able to catch in animation and in manga. Live action just breaks it outright. And that's pretty much it. But getting back into the live action discussion, it's not going to be good. I do not see this being good one bit. And I don't care who comes into the comment section saying, well, this person's involved, this person's involved. I always go back to the Cowboy Bebop argument because that is the most clear example of what happens when Japanese people get involved, Japanese manga, Japanese animation, any of these people get involved with live action adaptations made in America for anime. They get scrapped. Now, a decent live action anime, I also forgot about this, is a Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Decent, but it wasn't Pokemon. It was barely Detective Pikachu. It wasn't what I wanted. Pretty movie, interesting story, still wasn't what I wanted. Still was not something amazing. But I don't want live action adaptations, though. I don't want this. If I wanted live action adaptations, I'd be watching Batman. I'd be watching Superman. I would be watching those, which I do watch, but I do champion if they're done perfectly and borderline amazing. I would love all that. I love all that. But when I want to watch anime, I don't want to see it live action. I don't. I want to go watch anime because there's a difference to it. There's a charm to it. There's a uniqueness of it that live action loses. The translation from anime to live action, it just loses this charm that anime is very unique for. You just can't get it. You know, stereotypical, the big-chested ladies, they just don't translate. Now, that's not the only reason to watch the anime, but that's an example. You don't get ridiculously big-chested ladies. You don't get that over-the-topness, the fun element. Even the dramas, you don't get that fun element, that charm, the subtle changes in maybe an animation face feature that just a human character cannot give you. They can get close, but they lose it. That's one of the reasons live action anime fails, is because of those small little moments. Now, it could be borderline evolution, which is just a bastardization of Dragon Ball, but even when you get very close, the actors just can't stand up to who they're portraying. It just doesn't work. They won't look the same. They won't act the same. There's just this uniqueness that anime gives it that live action can't reproduce, replicate, or do very well. Even on the best anime, Alita Battle Angel, it still doesn't get those little moments, those little grits of the teeth, the little facial changes here or there that people drew for a reason. They just can't get it for some reason. And I don't think you'll ever get it. That's why we should all continue to say, quit touching anime. Anime's perfect the way it is. Quit touching it. And with that, guys, give me your thoughts down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on live action anime? And so on and so forth. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with all your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.